All right, hello everybody. How's it going? It's the end of the third week of January. It's January 20th. It's time for another weekly recap with the trading experts. All right, let's get right into it. All right, so the market recap. We had another pretty quiet week in the market. We just chopped around for the most part. Everyone's really waiting on this inauguration. What's Trump going to really do? What policies is he going to enact? What is he not going to do? So it's a bit of a guessing game this week. So we go to the weekly chart. Here's the weekly. Let's zoom in a bit. And we can see we just had, so last week, tight inside week, this week, even tighter inside week. So technically speaking, we're still a very healthy chart. The consolidation is very healthy. And judging by how strong we've been, you would expect these moves to get taken out by the upside, to the upside. Because, I mean, look at the overall trend. Let's go to a monthly chart. I mean, we've just been moving higher and higher and higher. So now we're, all right. So now we have a pretty tight flag at highs. You know, you would think that it just continues moving forward higher, but that's just the technical aspect of it. Let's go back to the weekly. Now, the fact that Donald Trump coming our president, we had a huge rally on the weekly chart. Here we go. This huge rally right when he was elected. He became the president-elect. But now, you know, there's a saying in trading, it's called buy the rumor, sell the news. So a lot of traders are thinking once he gets inaugurated, we might see a pullback. And seasonally, January and February are usually tough months to trade. So, you know, you could see it going both ways. There's definitely factors that would tell you it would go both ways. Let's get into some individual charts. Earnings season has recently kicked off. The banks, we noted it last week. The banks all delivered on their earnings, had great earnings. Here's Goldman Sachs today. They were this day? Oh, they came off this day. They already started selling off before. So, they tried to push out pre-earnings. Goldman Sachs, this is. I mean, I think Bank of America was the first one. We'll start with them. They tried to push out. They had great earnings. They made new highs and then quickly sold off and then got some follow through. And it looks like they tried to recover. They held the low, bounced, but then put in the shooting star that looks like it may continue lower. So then we'll go look at Morgan. You know, same story. Tried to push up low. Goldman. Story, you know, take out highs. Morgan. All right. So we see the same trend among banks. Collectively, they had great earnings, but they've been on such a run again with the Trump rally that it's time for them to pull back a bit. You know, the fact they couldn't push up with great earnings is definitely a sign that they're going to pull back. It's definitely a sign that they're toppy. Definitely a sign that they got some lower prices ahead in their future. All right, the hot stock of the week, Netflix. Beauty, absolute beauty. Came out with earnings here. They delivered. Here's the next day. They were all the way up as 140 level. Now it seems like when we look at a weekly chart, just took out all-time highs. Like this thing is ready. This thing looks great on a weekly chart. All right, so now. And it got a little ahead of itself on its earnings day. It had great earnings, but definitely a strong name. Now we're wondering, traders are wondering, where is it going to pull back to before it starts resuming higher? So I know a lot of traders are waiting for this 135 level, previous highs, pre-earnings. You know, resistance turns support. So we're going to be looking around that area too, maybe buy the dip a bit. I know it's a very popular thing among traders is looking for Netflix at 135. Pretty much everyone's trying to go long, except Jim Chanos. He has a notorious short position over the long term. How is that going, Jim? It does not look good. It does not look good for Jim right now. But I mean, he's a big time winner. He'll be fun. Another name we had on our level. Oh man, you guys got to drop a tear for me on this one. We've been watching this Skyworks name for a bit. Really great pattern. You see how it, oh man, look at this. Tight little wedge action right there. This is the weekly chart, back to the daily. So I knew this, get this out here now. I knew this $80 level was the important level. Look, it tried to sustain a move above 80 here. Went on a nice little run, gapped up above 80, immediately sold off. So I figured if you get stock at 80, like you're pretty good money if they beat earnings. So they announced the earnings after hours. This is Thursday at 4. And I have my bid box queued up. I'm ready to buy the shit out of it. 80 they announced, and bah, it just fucking skipped integers. It went from, what is it, 79 to 82 to 84 so quickly. I tried to buy some stock at 80 and 81. I got nothing. So good for me. Now good for everyone else. I mean, this is definitely a winner. Now it's about seeing where this sets up. I mean, long term, this thing looks like it's going to go higher. Maybe revisit these highs. Nice little monthly base. But it's about seeing where it sets up. You want to see it pull back a bit. I'm not going to chase it up here. I mean, I wanted to buy at 80. How am I going to buy 89? Maybe it'll pull back and set up, give us a little pattern. We'll see. Trade we sent out. Oh, trade of the week, Ulta. Oh man, it's still riding higher. This looks absolutely great. If you're in it, definitely stick with it. The weekly chart just tells me it's going higher. This is the first time. Look at that. All right, weekly close 266.22. First time it's closed above 266. Oh man, since what is this? August 2016. So I mean, I know it doesn't look like it's up a ton right now in this consolidation, but it has all the symptoms that it's ready to move higher. When are earnings? What is this? March 8th. So it's got some time. I mean, it might need some news or something outside. Maybe we'll get an upgrade, but it looks really good. I would stick with this one. Now Momo. We got some lessons in this one. All right, Momo getting tighter than tight. So this is Friday right here. So I was looking at this. I was loving this. I bought some this day, held it through this day, and then I added a nice chunk of shares this day. So what we got here? This 22, 2230, 2240 level. I was looking at 2230 because these highs here are the high of day. All right, look. What is this? 2222, 2223, 2222. So I think, so in my mind, this thing hits 2230 on some volume. We should be out of here. Let's head to 15-minute chart. Here we go. Comes through. I mean, it's a thin name, so it's tough. It doesn't show a trading view. At least doesn't show all the ticks. It doesn't really look like this on a chart. But so I knew I was buying heavy through 2230. My price was about, I don't know, 2190 or so, around this area. I had 500 shares. I was looking to get up to 2,500. Through the high, through 2230, I added another 2,000. Oh man, and this thing, look at this thing. All day traders. You see this big volume off the open. I'm thinking, we're on something here. And then boom, next 15 minutes, it's like, look, there's no volume. But it's still sticking around. It's definitely still going to be on my radar. I mean, I took a small loss on it. I got out of it pretty quick when it didn't follow through right away. I know how these names go. But if we look long term, I mean, had these two push-up bars out of consolidation. This is a weekly chart. Then this inside week, I mean, it's still fine. Now I'm probably going to buy 2240 because that's a high of the inside week. Trade off that. Then from there, you'd think it would continue higher, but we'll see. Which brings me into a nice little important lesson about sticking with stocks when they don't immediately. All right, when they don't immediately do what you want, that's not always the worst thing in the world. It means they still need to set up. So we were looking at AVGO. Avago. All right, so we saw this. We saw the gap up here on earnings. Held this low, and this low, previous resistance became support. So I saw these consolidation days. I bought through this high right here. Didn't get a ton of follow through. Sold some, got out of some, but I didn't kill the trade at all. Took it all. I mean, didn't take it off my radar. Just slipped my mind to keep looking at it. And then look at this. It's set up. Look at this little resistance right here. One of these highs around 181, and then boom. Look at this. 181 to 191 in 3 days. Huge move. Huge move. I didn't catch it. I mean, I caught this shit little move, but I took it off my radar, and I missed it. Here's another one of my favorites. My favorite. Oh, this is a sick one. CLVS. So we were looking at it. You see how it gets so tight these days? And it was just like, if it could break this high right here, this thing is off to the races. This thing is beasting on this high. We should be at 58 where we are now. Soon. So I get heavy through it. Buy the shit out of it. This day, I sell some, take some profit into this high just to book a trade, book some profit. It's fine out a lot of stock. And then the next day, It fucking pulls this shit on me. I have my stop low today, takes me out, and I take it off my radar. It consolidates, but it's still fine. And look where it's set up again, right at this level, this 37.5 level, and it's set up again, and boom, like a rocket ship. It just needed some positive news on its side. So you got to keep an eye on these stocks. You don't know when they're going to go. You can only trade off indicators like volume and stock charts and news and whatever your theory is for putting it together. But you have to keep an eye on them. That's for sure. So that's something to work on for all of us, I believe. Now we got a big week next week. I believe around 200 companies are reporting. Some of our favorites, Baba, this dirty bitch, lost some money in the last week. Baba has earnings, lead the weekly chart. Kind of a similar story to Momo. Push up. Another Chinese stock too. Push up off a nice little base inside week, and it's waiting on earnings. So if earnings are great, I may buy through this high of inside week. I'll keep it on the radar. What other charts, things we got going? Boeing is reporting. Google. I mean, I know a lot of eyes are on this 835 level. Let's see a weekly. Yeah, you can see all-time highs here. So very strong chart. Consolidating nicely. Definitely needs earnings to push it up or down, wherever way it's going. It's just going to kind of flop around until then. Some other ones, notable ones. PayPal has earnings. Wow, it looks amazing now. We initiated here. Starbucks, we got earnings. JetBlue and JBLU. There's a ton more, 200 companies or so. So we're gonna put in a lot of research this weekend. Really get after them. But other than that, that's all we got for you guys. Come at you Sunday night, trade of the week, and keep you updated throughout the week. All right. All right. Good luck. Happy trading.